Hey everyone, my name's Jared. I work for a large MSP in the Atlanta and Phoenix area. Today I'd like to give you a quick demonstration over how we were able to use Rewst to solve a problem within our organization. One of the issues that we've had since our PSA vendor discontinued the solution to synchronize Active Directory accounts to manage, what we've done is we've leveraged Roost to make API calls to Microsoft Graph and compare those user accounts inside of Graph to the contacts that we have in Manage. This allows us to keep all of our contacts synchronized between the two platforms and removes the need for technicians to manually create contact records. This ends up saving us about 30 to 45 seconds per ticket of making sure that we have the right contact, or if we don't have the contact, creating that contact record, because we're using Roost to take care of that for us. So how does this work? The first thing that we're going to do here is load a list of all accounts in Microsoft Graph by just making a simple API call using the built-in Microsoft Graph list users action. From there, we build several different data aliases or variables that contains all of that information and create an index so that we can loop through all of those results. After we've built that index, we're going to process each one of those results one at a time and pull in the fields that we want, like first name, last name, whether or not the account's enabled, and whether or not the account's licensed. From there, we're going to take that information after we have validated if it's licensed or not, and we're going to load a list of contacts from ConnectWise Manage for that organization. At that point, what we're going to do here is, if the account is active but does not have a contact record associated in Manage, we're going to follow this chain in the workflow to create that contact record and then update that contact record with the individual's job title before we move up to process the next record here. If that contact is disabled in Graph, at that point, we're going to update that contact record in Manage if it exists and set it to inactive. So that way we're no longer seeing that when we open up our list of contacts and create new tickets for people. If that account exists in both places, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to come right down to the last step here and process the next result in our loop. Of course, once we've processed everyone, the workflow finishes. So what we've done is we've tied this workflow to a trigger that runs every 7 days. So that way we're checking once per week for every client, and we're synchronizing all of those accounts in Graph back to Manage. So this workflow itself runs in just a couple of minutes for every client that we have, but saves our technicians time on the front end and reduces the amount of work that they have to do manually. This is just one more great example of how you can leverage Roost to handle even simple tasks within your organization, which in turn increases our profitability and provides a better experience for all of our clients.